Let's get started. Okay, so first of all, I just want to give a quick intro to our bootcamp. So we have data science bootcamp, and we will have part-time start on August 29, and the full-time in September 11. There is a slightly different between the full-time and the part-time. For the full-time, you will have 3 months training. It's about like 40 hours per week, and you will do some like portfolio project, or you can call it a personal project, and also you will automatically enroll to the real client project. And the real client project gives you the opportunity to touch the real world data, and it will be fill up the gap for your resume. And also you will get one-on-one support from our data scientist mentorship. Okay, it will be 6 months. And during the bootcamp, you will earn the experience by the SQL, Python, data scientist, machine learning skills, and big data skills. And also you will create 4 projects. And also after that, you will have the real client project and the one-on-one mentorship. Okay, for the part-time students, the real client project is optional, and it will be 10 hours per week. So normally it's every Tuesday and Thursday, and there will be lecture, and Saturday there will be lab or some project presentation or some pair programming, depends on the topics. And you will still learn all the necessary skills, SQL, Python, all the data scientist, machine learning, big data in the bootcamp. And also you will have 3 projects, and you will receive the one-on-one mentorship as well. Okay, that's and also for coming events, we will have like few coming events. It's gonna be very busy in August. So August 1st, we will have data scientist job search and the resume workshop. So that is very good workshop if you have a resume and you want our speaker to look into your resume, give you some advice, and also anything you want to ask to improve your resume. That's very good info section. The workshop you should attend. It's on the August 1st, and also on August 3rd, and we have the data science job market report. It's not only data science, it's also include the data analytics, data engineering. So it will give you an insight about how the job market looks like. And also it will give you some highlights about, for example, how many years experience you need, the salary range, and the soft skill, tech skill, all the details. It's going to be very useful info section. If you want, you can join that info section to learn, like if you have skills like they require, or you may need to do some self-learning or join our bootcamp or other like improvements, right? And also make sure look into the salary, because I think that's very important for everyone to see like what's the company's offering. Are they increasing the salary, or the salary is decreasing? But of course it is increased. And on August 10th, there will be data science bootcamp info section. So which is will give you more details about our bootcamp. If you're interested in join our like any bootcamp, you can join this info section, because this one give you a very detailing idea like what you're gonna learn, what you expect to like what kind of like skills you will learn, and also what kind of like a support our like faculty team will give to you. And also because we really care about students like able to land job as soon as possible, so we do have career like a support, which as mentioned like earlier is one-on-one mentor. Most of the mentor is our alumni who graduate from the bootcamp, and now they are working in the data like to work as data professional, and they have the same experience, so they do able to provide the most like a useful like a suggest, so to help you to get a job. Okay, so and also this just a quick idea, like that's a quick like a screenshot for the job marketing events. on next Thursday, same time. And this shows the how many job is available, and also that's the job by the titles and also by the day. You can see there is a trend. Normally, when the day is coming closer, there will be more job posts. Okay, so but more the detail, please come in to next Thursday, and we will have more details about this part. Okay. Okay, so now I think it's time for us to introduce our panelists, and we have Daniel, and who is working as a data scientist at RBC, and also we have Robert, also a data scientist analysis from DataAnalyst. They have yeah, I think I just leave this time for our alumni, and let our panelists to do some self-introductions. Let's start with Daniel. Daniel, are you available now?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. It's Daniel. Very nice to be here and have a chance to kind of share my experience and have the opportunity to address any questions that you guys may have. So regarding my role, I work at RBC. Basically, I'm just doing risk management for credit cards. I use data science and analytics to basically create credit strategies. For example, like I'm working on pre-approved strategies. Basically, I use data analysis and data science to kind of determine like which kind of customers are we going to send a pre-approved offer to. So basically just creating these strategies and monitoring them. Yep. On to you, Robert.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Robert. I work as a data scientist at dataengineer. So my daily curriculum is building models for like insurance pricing. So for example, I'm not sure how many of you guys are using our company's product. If you were using, you know there is a telematic app called Adjusto where you get customized premium based on your driving behavior. So that's the major project I was working on, which required machine learning skills and also big data. And yeah, I'm happy to be here today to help you guys finding your next job in data science market, and feel free to ask me any questions.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, if you are from North America, like just let you know, the RBC is a top, I will say top 4 bank in Canada. I think they're then like also have in US. Yeah, so let's move to the yeah, so we already have self-introductions. So I think due to some like yeah, certain standards, like our panelists cannot share the details about their jobs, and also not able to share like all this information. But I believe they do able to share a little bit about the tools they've been used. For example, are you using like what do you use? Like, are you using SQL, Python? I think that's most popular tools. Do you using the like which libraries you're using? Or are there any like time management tools or other tools like you want to share to let all the audience knows it's very important for you during your like daily works, and all it help you to do to improve your work more efficiency, or help you to organize. Maybe if you can just then if you can just let us know some tools you've been used, yeah, for your daily job. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, like across other teams at the bank, we basically use like many tools. Like there's a wide variety, but just like for my small team, most of the times we use Python, SQL, and SAS. So like I personally don't know how to use SAS, so like we use SAS to run SQL codes. Because for banks, the database, most of them, they're stored in SAS server. So I use the SQL language to extract data from SAS database. And for like analysis and building models, I use the Pandas library. It's a package in Python. So these are the big two tools that we use, but we also kind of use Tableau and Excel to develop any like dashboards or like graphs. Very rare, like right now we use like Hadoop for big data processing, but that's very, very rare. So I wouldn't say it's like an everyday tool. Yeah, so Python SQL, that's.
Great, thank you for sharing this information. Robert, how about you?
For me, the situation is similar with Daniel. So since like insurance and bank industry, they pretend like they like to keep the old tech. So our data management tool is also SAS, but like as same as Daniel, we also write SQL script in SAS to execute and extract data. So it's like completely fine if you don't know how to write SAS, if you know SQL. And for other scripting sides, basically Python with pandas for data manipulations and scikit-learn for machine learning. And for visualizations, we already use Power BI since my company is like heavily usage of all the Microsoft products. And for cloud, it would be Azure since it's the Microsoft's cloud platform. And for visualizations, we also create dashboard using Python with a package called Plotly. I think that's it. Yeah.
Great, thank you for sharing. And also have a curiosity. Just wondering, when you have the interview, I'm not sure if you still recall. Do you thinking like what you do is exactly what you being interviewed as, or it's very different? Like is there like what like was the interview like you being used all these tools, or some tools that they didn't mention, but you have to learn, and you had to do that by yourself? Just curious, like if you can remember.
Yeah, I remember. So like when I got interviewed, it was like some Python problems and a SQL window function problem. And because I'm working at the bank, they also ask many like business related domain knowledges. Yeah, I would say those are very closely related to what I do on my job.
Great, thanks. And how about you, Robert? Do you still remember the interview, like either same as what you do right now?
Yeah, I guess it's similar. So for me, the interview first step is they give you an online test with Python SQL questions, and after you pass that, they will give you a second round, which is a take-home project where they just grab a data set from Kaggle where the data set is about auto insurance, and they let you build a model around the data sets and do a presentation to the managers and like other HR. So yeah, as I said, for data we use SAS at companies, but back then I have zero knowledge about SAS. But I guess like they just make sure you know SQLs and you know you are a quick learner, then you should be able to do the jobs. So you don't need necessarily to have all the mentioned skills to apply for a job.
Okay, great, thanks. We have participation asking some questions, and first of all, did you ever set up the online portfolio and share with the employer? And did they check your online portfolios of your projects? I think this is very hard to tell, but just curious, like, did you create any portfolio or create websites when you do the job search, or do they put under our resume?
For me, I didn't. I basically just shared my experience, like I verbally told them what I've done. Some they might give you like a project for you to take home and do, like hand it back in like, I don't know, like a week or two. But the answer is no. I didn't create any portfolio and they didn't check the project.
Great, thank you. How about you, Robert? Have you created a portfolio website and share with any employer?
Yeah, I actually had portfolio, but it's not on hosting on cloud. So I had a PDF where I submit it with my resume when I submit my job applications, and they actually asked me some questions about the product and portfolios. So they're interested in some of them. I guess that's a plus if you have a portfolio, but I think, yeah, it's fine if you just go with the resume.
Okay, great. Thank you. Anita, I hope this answers your questions, but I think portfolio normally it helps. But still it is time consuming. If you have enough time, it will be nice for you to build up the portfolio. But if you don't have time, I believe if you can, you're really good at like Daniel, able to do describe what you do. You don't. It is optional. If you can pass interview, you may not need it, but you have trouble. I think portfolio sometimes will help. Okay, so we do have another questions. Just is wondering normally how long it takes you land your job, data scientist job, after you complete the boot camp. Then do you still recall how long it take for you? I think six months.
For me, it took me I remember quite clearly. I got the job sometime in end of May, and I think I completed the boot camp in January or the previous December. So yeah, it's gonna be 6 months, but the first 3 months, I've really been focusing on the real industry projects, and I wasn't that actively looking. So from the point when I started to actually really actively engage in looking for a job to getting it, I think it's 3 months.
Great, thank you. Oh, Robert, there is a question for you. Do you need to know finance to work as a scientist in insurance company? And
I could answer that. So even in the company with the same data science title, is the job is pretty different if you are in different teams. For example, in our modeling and research team, most of the employees are data science background with no finance and actuarials, and most of them are just master or PhD. And if you are working in a more business sense team, remakings or BI, then you might need some finance knowledge. But for me, I don't have any insurance or finance knowledge before I joined the companies. I just picked them up when I was junior.
Great, thanks. Yeah, I think if you have domain knowledge in the finance or insurance, that will be a plus. But still, they're more looking for your technical skills. This will be what they're looking for. Are you able to handle the task? I think that's that will be nice to have. We know because we have students who do the career switch. They never been in that industry before, but they do able to land a job. And I think technical skill, it's must have, but the domain knowledge will be nice. It will be really nice to have it. Okay, thank you, Robert. Thank you, Danny. Okay, so let's move to next questions. Yeah. Oh, sorry, there's another questions. Daniel, do you mind just give us, Daniel, Robert, do you mind give audience the introduction to your maybe education backgrounds, and before you join the boot camp, what's your previous job?
Yeah, so I actually had a completely different background. So before I joined the boot camp, I was literally I had zero knowledge in coding or all these technical stuff. So I came from finance background. So I did some investment banking, and then moved to retail bank. I was working at BMO as investment advisor. So it's more of just meeting with clients and discussing investments. So it's completely separate from what I do right now, which is risk management and data science. Yeah, that's myself.
Okay, thank you. Like how's the education background? Do you have maybe like a PhD or master, or is not must have? Yeah, just curious.
Oh yeah, I have a master's degree in finance, but I don't really think it really matters. Like maybe in the States, degree is really important, but I think in Canada, it's really like if you have the experience or not. So like masters, I don't think it matters that much.
Okay, great, thank you. How about you, Robert?
Yeah, I come from a background with computer science and statistics bachelor's, and I'm still currently doing a part-time master's on data related. So yeah, like same as Daniel, I don't think for basic data analytics or data science job you need a master degree. So bachelor works fine, and yeah, work experience is a must-have. It's super hard for you to even get interview if you don't have any like interns or real client working experience.
Okay, great, thank you. Yeah, we do have question, and it's more about the technical questions. Unfortunately, I don't think we are allowed to, like, due to the policy, like we cannot share what's the what technical question it is. But maybe Daniel or Robert, if you can share, like, what's the area or what's kind of like a test they asking you when you do the technical questions, and how many rounds you have been through for this interview, or the interview, like maybe you have, maybe the offer you didn't like accept, but they do, or you do pass several rounds. Do you mind maybe just talk about the technical interview sections?
Yeah, like I'm just gonna quickly go through like the questions. So how hard the technical questions, was it based on tools you're going to use it? So like most of the time it's gonna be 3 rounds. Like most of the time, like the first round is with like HR, and then the second round is with like a hiring manager, and then that's where like they give you technical interview and behavior interview, and then the third round is with more like a more senior, maybe like a director or a senior director. Some like more technical roles may require 4 rounds, but I think 3 to 4 is like the standard. And in terms of technical question, like I don't think anyone can give you an answer, because the technical question, it really varies from company to company. Even like teams within the company can be really different. Like for example, my technical questions and my coworker from like a partner team, like it's completely different. So that I don't think anyone can answer. And also I think Kushagra has a question: what is the importance of business skills like client management, requirement gathering, not workflow? So for me, I'm more of like risk analyst. It's like a middle office role. So like client management is not really required because we don't really interact with clients. Like business skills, I think the only business skills you need is like domain knowledge. Like you have to, like, I work in the bank. I work in under credit cards, so I kind of have to know like how credit cards work, like how like that credit risk sort of business sense. That's the only thing I know. That only thing I should know. And design workflow. That like design, like the workflow is like for a bank, it's really like an established business. So the workflow is already there. So you don't really have to design workflow. It's most of the time it's already designed. You either follow it or you make like small changes. You don't really have to design anything from scratch. And just to respond to Anita, saying like in the States, education doesn't matter, but in Canada, they give big thumbs for education. I mean, like in Canada, education, maybe like it is important. For example, if you have like a high school degree or like a college degree, if you compare that with someone with a master's degree, and assuming that your work experience is roughly the same, then of course the master's degree will have like an advantage. But if you're really comparing, let's say I have a master of finance, but I have 0 work experience, versus someone who graduates with a bachelor's degree with like 3 years of experience. Probably I don't stand a chance against that individual. So like everything else equal, work experience is actually more important. And Nancy's asking if I think having a master's would help with job opportunities. Again, like master is just like a nice to have bonus. Like if you have like a really good experience and projects, they don't really care if you have masters or not. And if you have a master's degree, but you have 0 work experience, most likely you won't get hired unless you go through like your school's portal and get like a co-op. That's a different story. But if you want like a full-time permanent, like actual job, I don't think it helped that much. Sorry, that took me a while. I'm just gonna pass it on to Robert.
Yeah, I think we basically have the same stories. So like for interviews, 0 for rounds should be expected. And for the master question, so based on my experience, unless you're aiming for entering big tech like Facebook or Apple's like Google like that, you need to have a master at least. Other than that, I don't think that's super important.
Thank you, Danny.
Yeah, for the current job, I guess based on my company's hiring process, I guess is okay, but you should be having a more detailed presentations next week based on what Adam said. Like we'll have the job market presentation next week.
Great, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Robert. Thank you for giving the details to our audience. And yes, if you want to know more about the job market, and please join next week's info section. We do have some report for the like research based on the job markets, like job posts and salary wise. In terms of the challenge, I will say it will be a little bit challenger than last year. But still I do see lots of students like that find a job, and but still experience very important. That's why we have once our student graduate, they will join our WeCloud project, and because of the experience, in most cases is a must have. And if you don't have that experience, then you don't really have a chance to go to the interview. Yes, and again, like I think Daniel mentioned, like when he doing the second project, and in the 5th month, and he got job offer, which means like normally each project like 3 months, and he start to send the resume after first project. Then when during the second project, and he got job offer. I think that's most students, like it happens to most of students, but still it do require you put the efforts on the like how hard you practice on this code, and also how hard you working on the projects, and how you good at the preparation for the real like interview. There are few factors you had to make sure you're able to meet the requirements. Otherwise, it could be challenge. But still, as I mentioned, like most of students should find a job in 6 months average, and some find it earlier. We have students who graduate from January, and she found a job right away. And we also have students like land a job in the also same as Daniel, do like land the job during the second project. So it's very varies, depends on your interview, like how good your interview goes, how much preparation you do, and etc. Okay, so okay, we do have we do have audience request to share the LinkedIn, and I think Daniel, Robert, if you are okay with that, I will share it in the Zoom chat, and yeah, and also I think the best way is if you have any information, any inquiry, you can go to our website, and which is WeCloudData. And you can send all the inquiries to our WeCloudData email. So because our panelists are very busy and they may not be able to respond as soon as possible. So if you have any questions, you can always contact us, and we will connect you to our alumni. Make sure they are available. In most cases, they may not be able to respond to you like right away. Okay. Yeah, and we do have Peter asked questions. Do you guys need to use GitHub, or it's not necessary as data scientist?
Hi, Peter. So like, I think this is like a question is a little bit tricky because it really depends on how technical the role is. Like data science, it covers like a broad range, like varying from like more business knowledge and versus more like technical skills. So for my position, it's somewhere like in the middle, leaning towards more business knowledge. So they don't really require like really hardcore coding projects. But let's say if you were to find like a really technical position, like a machine learning engineer, I would say like having like solid projects stored in a GitHub repository would be really beneficial, because I think like likely they would bring it up on an interview, and then if you have something to showcase, it would be a plus. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Yeah. How about you, Robert? Have you do you think the GitHub will help?
Yes, I also have a repo for all my project during the bootcamp and some of my just later product on GitHub. So you can just post a link on your resume, and if the interviewer are interested, they could always just enter your like repo and check. But I'm not sure how often they will check that. But having that is always a plus, and it will show interviewer you already have the Git related knowledge, which will be used for most of the job, I guess. So for me, we use Git for version control as well, and also Git will show if you are interested like in data projects. So if you having a commit every day, it will show the interviewer like you are really passionate about this data related thing. So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Yeah, I think it's very time consuming to build up GitHub, and to sometime if you are never touched GitHub, it could spend a bit of time for you to make a representative. Okay, thank you for asking these questions. I think this is going to be very insight for our audience. And okay, so if there are no more questions, let me move on to the question I prepared. But still, feel free to post your questions in the chat. Okay, so I think we already covered the two skills like within Robert and Daniel, like being used in the daily works. I think must have is Python and SQL. That's the core of this all the like a data job fields. You do need to use SQL and Python, but the Python is more complex, and it do have lots of libraries. It depends what you're gonna use for. Yeah, so definitely Python SQL is you must have to know. Okay, so move to next questions. Okay, so I think this question for Robert, since Daniel already have the master degree. Actually, Daniel, if you want to answer this question as well, since you have the finance, but it's not computer science master degree, or all like a relevant degrees. Why do you choose the bootcamp instead of other options at that time? Yeah.
Yeah, because like a master's degree is more no matter how short it is or how like practical it is, it's still focused more on theory. And first of all, it's really time consuming and it's very expensive. So like if someone is at like the early stage of the career, they have a lot of time, like they just finished undergrad, yeah, sure, maybe like you can go for a master's. But for me, like I need like a job right away, like quickly. So I chose the boot camp. Like it's way cheaper than master's degree, and it offers you like way more practical skills rather than theories.
Great, thank you. How about you, Robert?
Yeah, I guess it really depends on your personal development plan. So if you want to be like a really technical senior employee, so you want to pursue a PhD, then for sure you need a master's. But like if you're just undergrad or you just want to switch career from other industries, then I don't think getting a master is that efficient, since although it can be like finished in a year, but you need to enroll like courses, participate in courses and project exams, which like those projects are not same as the project you will be doing in the bootcamp. So like those projects are more academic, like more like explaining and writing a model from scratch, which will not be that useful if you are putting that on your resume saying you have working experience related to data industry. So I guess, yeah, it's really up to you. So if you want, you could always ask me. So you could also do a part-time master while you are working if you're really interested in getting a master degree.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I think Daniel and Robert also mentioned like you don't really need to get a master degree to land like a data job, and it's both like it's nice to have, but you don't have to. And also, if you want to do master degree for data scientist, I think you maybe want to like the experience is more important. Just compare the degree itself sometimes. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So Daniel, we do have Anita is asking you questions about
yeah. So like no worries. I did mention this before, but like I had zero technical skills. So before that, I don't even know like what SQL is. I don't even know how to like print hello world in Python. I knew Excel. Like I think I was pretty good at Excel in finance. Like you need to build like financial models with Excel. So Excel was pretty good, but that's like the only kind of like technical skill I had. So no SQL, no Python, no other coding either.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I think most of students before they join the bootcamp, they don't know SQL Python. And they do join the pre-bootcamp and also the bootcamp to build up these skills. Yeah, okay, so let's move on to the next questions. Okay, yeah, so what kind of research did you do while in searching for a bootcamp? Actually, let me skip these questions, not really too relevant to the alumni questions. Okay. Okay, so I think that's another thing probably is very important, like how many time you're gonna invest on your learning, let's say this way, not before you do the job search. In this way, like how long, like how many hours a day you need to prepare during the boot camp, and also once you graduate the boot camp, how many hours you spend on the practice on the coding, and how many hours you've been spending on the prepare for the interview. Yeah.
I think, okay, first question, how intensive was the bootcamp? Like, I actually think it was really intense. It's, I think it's more intense than my master's degree, because there's like, every day there's like course and you have to like absorb all of those new like information. So I would say it's actually really intensive. Like, and like how many hours did I spend a day or a week on learning? So outside of like the daily lecture, I probably had to spend like another 2 hours on going through the material and working on like the homework assignments. So yeah, it was really intense. It was really intense. And just to follow up on Anita's question, like, do you have to be pro in these? Yes, the answer is yes. Like, if you only know SQL, I think everyone is switching or trying to adopt Python right now. So if you only know SQL, I think that will make you a little bit weak. Yeah.
Great. How about you, Robert? How many hours you've been spending during the bootcamp, all before the interview? Like, say, like how many hours you are doing the project, and also you prepare for this, like review this bootcamp content.
Yeah, for me, the story is completely different since I come from a comp science and stats background. So I already know most of the stuff mentioned in the lectures, and I was only looking for like the practical stuff since I already know how the model works. I only need to know how to actually build the model and use it. And so most of my time during the bootcamp, I was just working on client projects from like even during the bootcamp period, during the lecture period, since like I already know most of the stuff. And like for learning before interview, mostly if you are going to interview and you need to do some research on the companies. So that's the major part of the time you need to spend before interview. Probably like 2 days for like an interview is fine. And you just like build your own interview question list. Like the more interview you get, you'll be more comfortable with the interview since you already know most of the questions.
Okay, great, thank you. Yeah, we do have follow-up questions about the career options. We do have another info sections talk about like options in the data scientist. Yes, there are different like a position, different roles in data scientist. Some of it's more focused on the analytics, and some more focused on the management. For that, maybe not the best person to talk details about that, but we do well have the info section, which you graduate from the bootcamp. You can be, yeah, so you can, depends on your domain knowledge or your what you're good at, and you can find the different roles in data scientist, and also you do able to apply. Yeah, it depends on the job descriptions. You will find there are differences. Yeah. Okay, so I think Samuel have questions. I think that's for if you have a full-time job. We have students join as part-time, which I mentioned earlier. We have part-time bootcamp. We will have every Tuesday, Thursday, from 7:30 to 10:30, and yeah, we do have like students join the part-time, and we do have a lot of students because now the there is a lot of like our students want to have career switch. So even though they have full-time job, but they do want to upskill themselves, or they want just have career switch. So but they cannot find the time in like on daytime, so they will join the part-time data scientist like a bootcamp, join our part-time data science bootcamp, and instead of 3 months, you will spend 6 months for the learning. And for that, I think it's the challenge will be how to balance the life, because you already spend like you have to like have full-time like jobs, and you do need to spend times after job. I think that's the most challenge part for all the students from the part-time. Yeah, the time management and how to make sure you understand the lectures. Yeah, I think that's like most challenge. But if you're able to solve that problem, and you should be good, right? And also, if you're not sure how the boot camps, like how the data fields looks like, we do have like a data fundamental, WeCloud Open. Some of them are free, some of them you maybe only pay a small amount. Just get a fundamental idea and see how that goes. And after that, you can choose if you want to join the part-time bootcamp and to continue the studies. Okay, so let's back to the questions for next questions. Okay, so yeah, I think that's also relevant, like how much you have learned from the instructor and how much do you learn on your own. Okay, Daniel, do you mind to share your experience first?
Yeah. So as I shared earlier, so like I learned 100% from instructors during the lectures, and after the lectures I would take time to like review the material and do the assignments. But if like learning on your own refers to like learning on materials that's outside of what WeCloudData has provided, I would say, so like before I started job searching and working on the real client projects, it was 100% from WeCloudData. Like I only learned and reviewed materials that WeCloudData provided. But as I started to work on projects and going to job searching, that's when I started to explore materials outside of WeCloudData, because at that point I kind of know where I want to go to. For example, like most of the jobs I've been looking for, they are focused more on Python, building machine learning models, like SQL queries. So I shifted more focus on those, and I didn't really look into like Amazon Cloud. I didn't really look at like big data. So yeah, so after I know what kind of job I'm looking for, that's when I started to explore and learn materials on my own. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks. Yeah, I think when you go to real client projects, they may have the company, there's always something new everyone had to learn. I think that's normal for everyone. I think there's another experience I want to share with everyone. Once you join the bootcamp, once you get comfortable with the piecing, and you should be confident to build a skill to learn new thing every day. As Daniel mentioned, it's a very fast pacing, very you can say it's hardcore, and yeah, so you do need to after you go through that stage, you will be you're not gonna fear to learn anything. It's like everything just it's not that difficult. You can handle it. How about you, Robert? How are you feeling? Like how much you learn from the bootcamp, and how much do you learn on your own?
Yeah, so yeah, I think for majority part, I also learned from the instructor. I think the lecture material is designed like explicitly for a job search, which is much better than what your usual university or like master lecture materials. So those are more academic, but for the material covered in bootcamp, it's more job focused. So like it's the using scenario for the model instead of like the explanations of the models, but like that will also be mentioned. So if you are a geek dude, you could also spend some time on those on your own time. So like you get a better understanding of like deeper level knowledge. But yeah, I think if you're able to follow the lectures in bootcamp, you should be fine answering all those online tests for the first round interview.
Thank you, Robert. Yeah, I have questions. Like, I think Daniel already answered. I know Daniel was very aggressive when he sent the resume. And how about you, Robert? Like, how many jobs you apply before you get into this job?
Yeah. So for me, I think is probably less than 100. So I only like submit the applications to the titles I want. So I like didn't just spam apply all the jobs related to data science on like LinkedIn or Indeed.
Okay, great. I think it also happens that I think let me check like with Daniel and Robert. So I think you send like hundreds of resume, but once you receive job offer, like how frequently you still like get an email asking you to get interview? Like how do you still continue get interview opportunities even though you already accept a job offer?
Yeah, so like for me, like sending out resumes, like it started to become like a habit for me. So like on a particular day, if I don't send out like a few applications, I just feel like my day is not quite complete. So that's why I ended up sending out a lot of applications. And these things, they have like some kind of delay. So during like the first month, I sent a lot, but not many responded. But as I get into like my second month and third month, like they start to come in really, really frequently. So in like my later stage, I will actually have like, I don't know, like 6 to 10 interviews in like a week. And it was kind of overwhelming. And just to answer Adam's question, like even after I accepted my current offer, there are still people calling me to ask me for interviews. Personally, I really recommend you send as many applications as possible, because after all, it's like a somewhat like a probability game. So like the more you send out, the more likely you're gonna get an interview.
Okay, great. How about you, Robert?
Yeah, so for me, so I only submit like maybe applications before like below 100, and only get, I don't know, 15 to 20 interviews. And yeah, of course, you may get an interview after you already accept your offer. And I have seen employee like my coworkers in companies who joined the companies and left within a month, since like probably they got another interview and got a better offer. So yeah, it's you could still getting offers, and yeah, you could just do the interview as well and decide if you want to join in like which companies you prefer.
Okay, thank you. I think this interview, some people enjoy the interview process. I think, but most of us maybe don't like the interview. We probably will accept offer as soon as possible. Yeah, but I think depends on different situations. Hope you guys not regret to accept this job. And yeah, if someone give you better offer, hope you don't get regret about that. Okay, so I think I need to have questions about the job descriptions what job descriptions you were before applying. Anytime, do you mind just make it more clear? There means like what job descriptions like our alumni is looking into. Is there still questions like
Okay, I think like what she meant is when I apply for jobs, what kind of job description am I like looking for to apply?
yeah,
This is kind of like a complicated question. Wait, oh, okay, there's the message. Yeah, so this is a little bit complicated because the mentors from WeCloudData, they actually have like a standard kind of like way to search for jobs. Like they have like this specific way of searching for jobs, so it gives you like the most appropriate like job openings like designed like for your interest. So I can't really answer on that. Like it's just basically like a set of like keywords that the mentor think that fits me. Yeah, I think that somehow answered your question. Like I forgot those keywords, but it's like just way to search on Indeed that will give you the most openings.
Yeah, I think it's very hard for Daniel to memorize for 500 job description. Yeah, most common. Okay, I think maybe let me just add on the job descriptions. I think in some case, because when a company posts a job, it normally is being posted by HR, but normally you will find the job description is not matching the manager's expectations. So when you go to the interview, sometimes they may not asking like all the job descriptions, like all the skills they list on the job description. This really depends on the like individual interviews. Sometimes they want to cover all the detail. Sometimes they just ask what you do for daily jobs, right? So job description mainly you're looking for is what you're familiar with, or what you have been worked on, like at least like about say 60% or 70% skills you already know. For the rest of them, you probably want to practice before the interview. And I hope that answers your questions. We do have another question from Samuel, and it's asked overall your interviews. Do you still remember the most common question as the topic? Yeah.
Okay, so like I don't think anyone can answer that question really accurately, because first of all, it really depends on like the title or the position and versus like how technical the role is, blah, 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 blah. So like for me, like I work at a bank, it might be really different from like if you're applying to like Google or Facebook. But like, again, my mentor from WeCloudData, like she prepared me a series of questions to prepare for. It really varies. Like if you Google for like common behavior questions, you can get like 20, 30, or even 50. And it's really likely that any of them could be asked. But if there's like this one question that is the most frequent, I would just say like it's tell me about yourself, or tell me about your current or previous role. I think that's like the only question that's asked everywhere. So like every other question, it really, really depends on the interviewer or the position. But definitely like you have to prepare a good story of like your past experience, because they'll definitely ask you like, tell me about yourself. That's like that one question that will like always come up.
Okay, thank you, Danny. How about you, Robert? Anything you want to share?
Yes, I think for this, Daniel already covered all of it. Yes, so different company will have a different question set they will use. So it's hard to like for us to say there is something like you must be prepared. But yeah, for personal introductions and your past work experience, they will ask you this every time.
I think Peter has another question regarding like ChatGPT. So like I'm only answering on behalf of like myself. So in RBC, like right now, I don't think they're doing ChatGPT. I think like different companies, they might adopt it, they might not adopt it. We don't know. But like AI will displace you. I mean, this is like really, this is like a deeper topic, because I think, for example, RBC is like a really big company. Like they probably need to encourage employment. So I'm just randomly guessing, like they probably won't let AI replace us, because like like the employment is really important in the country. That's what I think. But yeah.
Yeah, same for us. So our company actually bans the usage of ChatGPT since there is a security breach. Like, since by using ChatGPT to help you writing script or doing data analysis, you need to share the data with the, like ChatGPT servers. So many of the companies actually don't allow you to use ChatGPT for your personal use. And even though like you can use ChatGPT, I don't think it will completely replace human employees since using the tool will help you speed up the process of writing a script, but like it's not 100% accurate, and you can use it as a tool to create a scratch, but you still need to personally review and adding customized functions to the script provided by ChatGPT.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, I think ChatGPT will replace some job, but it's most likely not data scientist. Maybe like not the data fields. Like I think the maybe mostly you all know like there's more tools for online tools, right? To what you mostly is video editing. So video editor maybe have trouble Photoshop or other things, and also I think data scientist or data role is still very popular because you're gonna use it. This make your job more productive. But yes, I think Robert mentioned like some company banned it, but I think lots of people still using it when they are not in the office, just because it's very easy, very helpful for you to learn something or create something from scratch. But it doesn't means they will be replaced like the roles, but for the retail, they maybe will be replaced. For example, there will be less maybe the bookkeeper or administrations, just because everything can be just go digital, and also like even the may potential there will be a digital currency, so maybe the printing company or other company, they may have more trouble than the retail, the traditional industry. Okay, so let's move to the next question. And all this is very good questions. Thank you guys for keep asking these questions. Okay, so and also I think maybe this is a very general question, just asking the experience. I think when we talk about our bootcamp experience, it will be few different portions. First of all, it's our instructor. Second will be our TA. That's during the bootcamp, and also the next one will be the real climb project. Daniel, do you want to share your experience during the bootcamp and the real climb project? Thanks.
I think like by answering many of like the questions previously, like all those answers kind of answered this question to some extent already. But yeah, like I really enjoy the bootcamp, especially because I feel like I'm learning like true like practical knowledge that can be applied right away in a work environment. It's not like something like it's really theoretical, it's impractical. It's something like after that one lecture, and if I were to get a project related to that topic, I can do it right away. So that's something I really like. Again, like it's really intensive. It actually gets a lot harder for me later on when we learn like Amazon Web Service and big data, because I didn't come from a technical background, so like that's a little bit hard for me. But I reviewed the material over and over again, and I think I was able to understand the material later on. Yeah, again, it's really practical, intensive, and I guess fun to some extent.
Great, thank you, Daniel. Robert, how about you?
Yeah, so for me, the bootcamp experience, the majority of it is client project, since I already knew the technical stuff. So yeah, for the project part, I think is a great substitute for interns or co-op if you don't have any of them, which will like greatly increase the chance of you getting an interview after you put those client project experience on your resume. And for client project, you should be actually having TAs or project managers from WeCloudData to help you in case you have any questions. So I guess that is also a plus if you're afraid that you are not like technical enough for the project, you will be ready. And in case if you're not ready, someone will help you.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Yeah, actually, let me just skip that. Since we have some questions and more or less been covered, I will skip some of this question. Okay, I think this is very good questions. So do you mind share some important factors to become a successful bootcamp graduate? I think this maybe two wide questions. Maybe you can give audience some hints, like what's good habits you have on daily, so help you to learn, and also what kind of like a soft skill. I think it's more relevant to the soft skill, not relevant to the technical skill. Like what kind of soft skill are important factors or others like it help you to become successful. Thanks.
For me, because I didn't come from a technical background like Robert, where he did computer science and stats. So I actually had to focus a lot on like the technical stuff. So I kept reviewing the lecture videos, and I kept working on the problem sets, the assignments. I think those are really useful for understanding the technical part. In terms of the soft skills, I think the biggest one is just interviewing skills. So you have to like constantly book mock interview sessions with your mentor, and mentor will give you a lot of feedback on like the way you answer your question, the way you speak, like your body language, things like that. Yeah, that's for me.
Thanks. How about you, Robert? Just share some factors that may help you to land the job. Thanks.
Yeah, for job, like I think you should be just, if you are really eager to land job fast, you should be putting like in your resume in a good form. So, and always looking for new job opportunities, but actually had a good point for studying. So if you are career switchers, or like every material in bootcamp is new to you, make sure you feel free to ask questions to the instructors whenever you have a question, since like if you actually don't understand that part and you just let it go, and I'm pretty sure like rest of lecture you will not learn anything new, since the lecture material is pretty linear. So if you don't know the step one, then the rest of step you'll be confused as well. So in case if you don't ask questions immediately after you find that, and you might just waste your whole lecture time.
Great, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Robert. I think most of our alumni share, like you had to put as much effort as you can if you want to be a success, no matter even you are. I think Daniel mentioned like a practice on the interview, and also he mentioned before like a 2-hour actual learning time, and to conquer this technical challenge. And also Robert mentioned I think he do more about improve your resume, and also spend the time on this project and ask questions. Actually, that's a very good one. Like we do have some students are very shy to ask questions, or kind of free to ask questions, because sometimes they may thinking like if no ask questions, if I ask, it there make me looking not like smart. But definitely, if you have a question, it's definitely just ask. I think don't be afraid. I think that in the beginning stage, you want to get as many support as possible. Once you have enough knowledge, then you can try to solve by yourself. That's the skill you should learn in the next step. But in the beginning, we want to have like a workload as possible. Let's workload and make your work less as possible. I think that will help you. Okay, so let's move to the actually. Let me ask our alumni and the audience: do you want to have a break, since we already covered about like more than an hour? And let me know if you need a break, and we can just have like a short break. And if you're thinking you are okay, we can just continue.
Yeah, I'm fine. Keep going on.
Great, thank you, Danny. Thank you, Robert. Let's continue with the next. Oh, actually, that's the Ask Me Anything section. Actually, before that, we do have more successful stories, and if you want to, because our students have come from various backgrounds, and you can go to our webpage to find like our students, and they are sharing their experience, how they become like land a job, and they will write down they have some feedback to how they can land a job, like what's the give you some insight. And if you are still not sure just a good career path or not, and you can always join the info section. The coming info section, we have the introduction to the bootcamp. Sorry, let me just go back. Sorry, let me just go back. Yeah. So if you're not sure, you still have the data science bootcamp info sections. In their sections, if you want to know more about our bootcamp, you can join on August 10th. And if you're not sure how the job market looks, and you're not sure, like should I do the career switch, you can join the job market report on August 3rd. And also, you already have your resume, and you want to try to apply for any data field, and you can join the August 1st. We have a job search workshop, and it will help you to it will help you to, like, this workshop will help you to see which part you need to improve on your resume.